Hello, Assalamualaikum sir. I am Rahimullah Rafi from section A. My roll number is 059. Today I am going to talk about 5 movements that lead the birth of modern Western political thought. I am going to talk about Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation was a religious reform movement that swept through Europe in the 1500s. It resulted in creation of a branch of Christianity called Protestantism, a name used to collectively to refer to the many religious groups that separated from the Roman Catholic Church due to difference in doctrine. Martin Luther, a German teacher and a monk, brought about the Protestant Reformation when he challenged the Catholic Church's teaching starting in 1570s. Luther's objections to the indulgence system paved the way from other challenges to the Catholic doctrine throughout Europe. For example, John Calvin in France and Ulrich Zwingli in Switzerland proposed new ideas about the practice of Holy Communion, and a group called Anabaptists rejected the idea that infants should be baptism in favor of notion that baptism was reserved for adult Christianism. The Copernican revelation is named for Nicolaus Copernicus, whose Commentarius, written before 1514, was the first explicit presentation of the heliocentric model in Renaissance scholarship. The Copernican principle states that the earth is not the center of the universe, and that as observer we don't occupy a spatial place, first stated by Copernicus in the 16th century. Today the idea is wholly accepted by scientists and is an assumed concept in many astronomical theories. It's not a stretch to say the Copernican revolution fundamentally changed the way we think about our place in the universe. In antiquity, people believed the earth was the center of the solar system and the universe, whereas now we know we are on just one of the many planets obtaining the sun. The French Revolution was a period of radical political and societal change in France that began with the States General of 1789 and ended with the formation of the French Council in November 1799. Many of its ideas are considered French Council in November 1799. Many of its ideas are considered fundamental principles of liberal democracy, while the values and institutions it created remain central of French political discourse. The underlying causes of the French Revolution are usually attributed to the ancient regime failure to manage social and economical inequality. For example, John Calvin in France and Ulrich Zwingli in Switzerland proposed new ideas about the practice of Holy Communion, and a group called Anabaptists rejected the idea that infants should be baptism in favor of notion that baptism was reserved for adult Christianism. Kantian revelation. Kant's most original contribution to philosophy is his Copernican revelation that Kant argued that the moral law is a truth of reason, and hence that all rational creatures are bound by the same moral law. Thus, in answer to the question, what should I do? Kant replies that we should act rationally in accordance with the universe moral law. The basis idea, as Kant described it in the groundwork, is that what make a good person good in his possession of a will that is in a certain way, determined by or make its decision on the basis of whatever basic moral principle there may be. February 23, 2004. For example, you ought to study only if certain things are true about you. For example, that you care about doing well, that you want to succeed in the test, etc. This is the summary of 5 movements. Thank you, sir.